Hello everyone, welcome to this Life Glider video. In today's Life Glider video, I want to talk about my thoughts going from an electric wheelchair to a Life Glider. Yes, at one point in time I did own a electric wheelchair during my high school era. And I feel after much time reflecting, utilizing an electric wheelchair back then, there are some elements that somewhat have been carried over to the Life Glider. And the first thing that kind of surprised me after reminiscing and thinking about my time utilizing an electric wheelchair, the biggest thing that stuck out to me was the direct control I had over the wheelchair when it came to moving backwards, forwards, left, right, in circles, 360 spins, donuts, and that type of thing. But what I've also realised is there are so much things that I have realised that the Life Glider does better than the electric wheelchair, but also paying tribute to the electric wheelchair. Now let me explain what I mean by that. With the electric wheelchair, or any chairs that operate using electricity, or like sort of digital input, it all comes down to the controller. Now what I'm trying to say is, in an electric wheelchair, and this is something I've noticed after using one for a long time back in the day, is that because of the electrical inputs, the electric wheelchair only has not limited movement, but it has points of fluidity because the signal has to be transferred from the user using the controller down to the wheels to move. And in an electric wheelchair, it can go forward, left, right, backwards, and then it wants to go around in circles. But what I've noticed is that the Life Glider has somewhat taken that electrical input from the controller, took it away, and allowed fluidity to be the guiding key. So it's not the electrical frequency from the controller going down to the wheels, it is the user applying the movement, which is somewhat naturally allowing fluidity to enhance the experience, which is fantastic. Something else I've also noticed as well, this is very straightforward, this one, but the Life Glider does not have any preset speeds, which is fantastic. So on the electric wheelchair I had, you had 1 to about 3 or 4. I think mine had five speeds. So one being like mega slow speed, to number 5 being Supersonic the Hedgehog speed. And what I've noticed is because because in the Life Glider you don't have to be focused on tapping a button to increase the speed, because it all comes from the user, with the increase of the velocity and also the belt tightness as well. It makes it easy to have a natural balance of slow, medium, fast, supersonic, mega speed, because it comes down to the user. So it's not like you're going on speed 2 and then you have to stop and put it onto speed 1 and then go again and then put it onto speed 5 to go fast. So none of that stop go mentality with the glider. There is when going down slopes or going down inclines or going on a terrain where the Life Glider where the Life Glider can be taken automatically because of the traction. It all comes down to the user to implement the speed and the velocity, so they can manage it, they can increase it, they can deplete it, and they can have overall control of the speed they want to implement throughout their day-to-day life, using the Life Glider. Something else as well I've also noticed, which is also very fantastic, is that the Life Glider doesn't need to be charged. Yes, it needs to be maintained and maintenance, to keep the Life Glider, in tip-top shape and healthy and stuff like that. But it doesn't need to be on a charging lead or anything like that, because one thing with an electric wheelchair that always not really annoyed me, but somewhat made me always constantly think or overthink was, is my electric wheelchair on charge? Has it got enough charge? Can I make it to point A to point B with this charge, or will I struggle when I get to point A? Or will I struggle when I get to point A, point 5 to get to point B? So with that, having not to worry about a charging component or insert into the glider, it's just simple as standing up, strapping in, and then putting the brake off, and then you're good to go. It's fantastic. What I would say is something to keep in mind is with the electric wheelchair, depending on the type and make, the handlebars or the armrests can sometimes be pretty big and bulky, and that was good for arm resting with the like with the length of the arm and stuff like that. And with the Life Glider, you don't have a lot of arm or hand space to help with the transferring aspect of the Life Glider because of that decrease in space. What I would say though is it's a lot better to get through doors because of that. So that's one of the positives to the Life Glider. Something else as well I've also noticed is that the wheelchair or the electric wheelchair is mega heavy, mainly because of all the battery and the internal components making up the overall build of the electric wheelchair. But with the Life Glider, as it's so light, you can collapse it, you can pick it up, and you can put it down, you can carry it, and it doesn't put any strain on your back because it's so light. With the electric wheelchair, it's a bulky wheelchair because of all the components and stuff. And sometimes with the electric wheelchairs, there isn't a back control mechanism for, say, like your parents or your legal guardian to take control in case if you get stuck or something like that, or tired. But with the Life Glider, if you do struggle in that aspect, you can just say to your friends or family, right, could I ask you to stand by the side of me, and I'll take your hand, and then all of you will work together to overcome that obstacle, or to try and help you navigate something, or if you're unsure about a certain terrain, then the people by you can basically take your hand and walk alongside you. So there's no controllers. So it's just simple, and that's what the Life Glider is. It's a very simple piece of equipment that doesn't need any wires, doesn't need any battery packs, charging docks and things like that. It just comes down to the own individual and the Life Glider working in harmony. So that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned for future videos. Thank you.